Need I explain any more? Frankenhooker. A terrifying tale of sluts and bolts. Forget nuts and bolts. This. This right here is the premier way to introduce the 1990s. 4 stars, says Joe Bob Briggs of Movie Channel Drive-In Theater. Best of 1990. So there's this pre-medical student. There's this medical student whose girlfriend gets annihilated by a rogue lawnmower, and he decides to revive her by bringing in a whole bunch of hookers and assembling them Frankenstein style. Mary Shelley would either be disgusted or absolutely riveted. And this is an example of 1980s consumerism at its finest, and also cocaine. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, the man somehow successfully fuses a whole bunch of hookers alive and creates an abnormality, I guess is the word. So, and when I'm looking at this, I'm like, obviously the acting is cheesy. You're not here for that. You are here for the FTNA, the Frankenstein T and T ampersand A. And you get it. I mean, you do freaking get it. I mean, as I was watching it, I mean, just looking at the superfluous hooker scenes, like when he's trying to build them and everything, you know, it's like he lures them with the promise of cocaine and everything else, and they do come, and I'm just thinking, like, what a scene, you know. I mean, you just have to see this freaking movie. What I can't believe I'm saying this. What I liked about it is this is the one thing that was not in the original Frankenstein, also known as Modern Day Prometheus, was how the monster was built. We actually get to see a detailed diagram of, like, you know, compression, the like the muscles and everything else. So it's elaborate in a good way as to how it's built. It's a more modern take on, from saying it's alive to building it with then current technology with beakers, test tubes, chemicals, and everything else. I like the way how that was assembled. Can't believe I just freaking said that about a movie called Frankenhooker. But yeah, and then she goes around still acting like a hooker, but then meets a pimp named Zorro that just is a menace. But she manages to wallop his behind, and as his behind is getting walloped, you know, it's like manages to rescue a couple of other hookers, but she still has her own identity, you know. It's like it's technically female empowerment, as the poor medical student Jim or James or whatever his name is getting walloped, and Elizabeth, yes, that is her name, is it's like saying, hey, yeah. As unfortunately for Jeffrey, his dear Elizabeth's brain is scrambled. She runs amok on 42nd Street, turning tricks and bringing high voltage death to her customers. Please note, this is like an early 2000s DVD, so it's not exactly the greatest quality and everything else. There is a freaking 4K of this, but yeah. Definitely, you know, it's like, he brings the time. It's like, you feel, look, this movie was segmented and constructed well. This is like the build-up that I liked, because it's like, say, hey, the woman unfortunately gets passed on. There's a nice detailed way of how she is assembled. We get something that resembles the original Universal one. We get enough tributes to it where it doesn't cross into, like, you know, Universal that would sue them. And we also get to see, like, saying, hey, here is the excess of 1980s culture that we're just going to hold a ridiculous mirror to it, but you still have to look at it. And music is fine, you know. This, like I said, this is just one of those you have to see it to believe it. Especially with the guy coming in, Zorro, with who looks like a bad Freddie Mercury impersonator, and how ultimately Jeffrey at the end, his head gets implanted on a woman's body, plays with the breast, and it's just this movie really is a hoot. So yeah, if you ever get the chance, I really highly recommend it. If you want some sleazy, cheesy TNA, Frank Henenlotter's Frankenhooker.